years ago, Lorraine Miller, a devoted wife and mother of 5, contracted retinitis pigmentosus and glaucoma. The disease suddenly left her blind, only able to see different shades of black. But despite her loss of eyesight, she never lost sight of a bright future for herself. She wanted to go to work, not in a Braille library or on an assembly line. She'd always wanted to be a hairstylist. Little did she know that the loss of her vision would lead to the gain of her lifelong dream.
She has a quality that very few people have, and that is the very sensitive feel of touch.
Anthony Matula is the owner of Anthony's Court, a hair salon in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He's also the brainchild behind an ambitious project to teach a visually impaired person the art of hairstyling. He believes it can be accomplished using strictly the sense of touch. So does Lorraine. She's the one he picked to be his student after he interviewed quite a few candidates at the Lancaster Association of the Blind.
Lorraine, when she walked in, she sat down. The first thing she said was, "Where's the head? I'm ready to cut it." And that's one thing that caught me off guard, but at the same time it made me realize that's what I need.
I like working with hair, even back in high school. And with my 5 children, I've done cutting their hair, and my husband. So when Tony came to the agency up at Lancaster County Blind Association and said he'd like to train somebody, why, I thought, wow, I can get back into it again.
Well, she's back into it all right. What was Lorraine's hobby before she lost her sight is now a trade she's learning quickly. 3 to 4 times a week, she takes time out of her household duties and heads to Anthony's to cut, curl, and comb under the watchful eyes of Anthony and the rest of his staff.
Tell me if you can find out, tell me where the haircut stopped, or where you end back here. There is a line almost. Yeah.
Right here.
Did you see that?
It's been a lesson in patience and trust from the very beginning. Lorraine recalls her very first actual haircut. It was on Tony. That's right, her instructor, her boss. Now that's enough to make someone with 20/20 vision, well, a little
nervous. Quite nervous with Tony when I cut his hair. And but he was terrific through the whole thing. Calm down, don't worry about it, you're doing fine. Gives me all the confidence I need.
That confidence has enabled her to graduate from a nervous to a nimble apprentice in just over 3 months.
I don't even see why I'm here telling you what else to do with this haircut, because you have it, except for the sides. I'm going to go with yours, but do this. Start in the front where you were.
Today, instead of being led step by step, Lorraine needs minimal assistance from any of the shop stylists. With just a few cues from Gabrielle, Lorraine can style up a storm. What a show! Lorraine Miller views her disability as a detour on the road to success, not a dead end. She's a wife and a mother who still insists on doing the shopping, getting around on her own, and continuing her education. She still has about 2 years to go before she qualifies with enough hours to get her license. But if you ask any of her associates, they'll tell you there's no doubt she's gonna make it.
She can do anything I can do. In fact, sometimes she can do things better.
I've got all the confidence in Tony teaching me everything I need to know to pass all the exams and to get my license. You know I'm gonna.